Hi friends! Welcome back to another WIP and Chat. My name is Stacy. This is a diamond painting channel, and I talk about diamond paintings and I do diamond paintings. So if that is your cup of tea or your cup of boba, please feel free to stick around. I don't make jokes like that often, so don't worry. If you are returning, thank you so much. I'm happy to have you back. If you are new, welcome. And I hope you want to chill and hang out with me for the next however long this video is. So what is a WIP and Chat? WIP stands for Work in Progress. So my current work in progress is a diamond painting, and that will always be the answer for future WIP and Chats. And then the chat part is just, you can have this on in the background, or if you do want to watch me do it, absolutely. But it's just kind of a time where we can chat and kind of craft together. Well, whatever you're working on or whatever you're doing around the house. Today, I am working on boba drinks by the Diamond Design Company, and I've really been enjoying them so far. There are 9 of them total. So these are the 9 total boba drinks that they have. Right now we're doing this one. I'm doing them in the order that it says. So I finished this one. I can show you that. But now we're doing this one. And if we finish this one during this WIP and Chat, I'll start kitting this one up. Because you actually kit up each of them individually. And the storage I chose for this does not have enough containers for me to kit up all 9 at one time. So, but let me show you the one that I did finish. Isn't it adorable? This is like absolutely adorable. And then here's some of the special drills. So there were some crystals in this one, and some fairy dust, or whatever they call fairy dust at Diamond Design Co. Because some of the companies call it different stuff, but I don't know what they call it. But it's called fairy dust at Diamond Art Club. So I have been really enjoying doing this one. Right now, all I have left in this is the special drills. So I'm excited about that. This one has 3 fairy dust and 2 crystals. So we'll do the fairy dust first and then the crystals, because crystals are my favorite, usually. So this background is very multi-placey. It's kind of cool that they chose to do a special drill as the background. Because otherwise I would have did that first on this painting, you know, of a big color blocky section. But I like to save the specials for last. So, but I do appreciate it. I haven't seen any ABs from this set at all yet. I don't know if it's just fairy dust and crystals that they do entirely, or if they do have other ones. Like if they do any AB, so that's pretty common special drill that gets done. But overall, I am liking Diamond Design Co. a lot. They are a heavy price point, but also when I was judging the price, I was judging it thinking that these were the size of minis. So like a mini from Diamond Art Club, or like the Pretty Little Gem mini sets that I've done. And this is actually a 20 by 20 centimeter canvas, which is almost the same size as Cat Hugs, if you remember when I did that a few weeks ago. So like these are actually like a lot bigger. So consider it more of, there are 9 snack-sized kits versus 9 minis, and then the price makes a little bit more sense. But it is still going to be pricey, which is okay. It just does, mean that some people, this might be out of their budget, and that is okay. There are still budget friendly licensed companies that you can purchase from. So, nothing wrong with that. I definitely will buy from Diamond Design Co. again because I've really just been enjoying myself. The other ones that I have from them, there is celestial mushrooms, and I can't remember the name of it. It's like ethereal spring or something. It's kind of like I can barely see it in my closet, but I can't see what the first word is. But so I do have 2 others. I might make a purchase this month though, TBD, but it's the owner's birthday month, which means that she's doing some special drops this whole month and some giveaways. So if you follow her Facebook for sure, probably her Instagram too, you can enter the giveaway posts that she's doing. And she's doing a giveaway where it's kind of raffle style. Every purchase that you make in May is going to go as an entry for that raffle. I don't know what the prizes are, but I would assume canvases, whether they are the snack sizes, sets, or a full canvas. They've just started doing full canvases. But so far, highly recommend Diamond Design Co. I like the quality of these a lot. Grid is good. I like the drills at Diamond Art Club a little bit better, but these are still good drills. Like, that doesn't mean that these are not good. But if we're like comparing whatever the facets of the current Diamond Art Club drills are, I like that better than whatever this facet is. I don't know how to tell how many facets something is. So I can't tell you what the difference is. These are like same drill quality though, I would say, as the Pretty Little Gem. So that was my same kind of review of the Pretty Little Gem set that I did. Still, the drills are still great quality, but if I'm comparing, I would pick the Diamond Art Clubs. So, I did though say I would choose the designs and renders of Pretty Little Gem over Diamond Art Club. So I'm not like just kissing Diamond Art Club's butt. I do have like critiques of everybody. This grid though is almost too tight. It's really good, but every now and then I'm getting and it's probably just to do with my placing, but I'm getting like, if you look, this should be this line right there, but it's like shifted, but I don't know where I can even scooch all of these over because there's like no gapping in between all of that. So I don't know how. So every now and then when I'm going this way, because it happened in the other one on the top 2 rows, like if you see, like it literally started going into the washi tape on both sides because the grid is a little tight sometimes, because that's not the case for every row. So it very well could be my placement. But I am not sure how to place any differently. I'm sure if I single placed then it would be a little bit more, but I don't want a single place. Multi-placing's fun. So we're just gonna, whoopsies, that's my fault. Yeah, we're just gonna redo those because but yeah, if I finish this one in this open chat, I will start kitting up the next one. They're kit up entirely separately. So I can only kit up basically 2 at a time in the storage that I'm using. I'm using the Art Dot bottles storage for these. Forever Young trays are my favorite, but I am using those for bigger canvases. Sorry, I'm just trying to push these over as much as I can. But it still does it. So, yeah, they're just gonna have to hang off the edge a little bit. So that's the biggest critique I have, is maybe the grid's a little too tight, but I would definitely prefer this grid over one that's like really gappy. So it's not a huge deal. But FYI, I want to make sure to be honest always when I'm saying what I like and what I would improve. But I will be keeping an eye on what she's going to do in May this month. Speaking of May birthdays, it is also Jade's birthday from Jaded Gems Shop. And so this weekend she's having 30% off sale with the code birthday bash, capital B's on both words. And so I don't know if I'm gonna purchase yet though, because I've made purchases from Jada Gem Shop already, but I haven't gotten them yet, so I haven't been able to try it to know how much I like the Jada Gem Shop kits. So I can't speak to how good the quality is. And what if I don't think I'm gonna hate it, but I'm like, what if I did hate it and then I ordered more and then I have all of these canvases? But that is what I need to decide whether or not the risk I want to take. Alright, so how has y'all's week been? My week has not been the best week ever. I've been having some car troubles this week. So we've just kind of been in some bad luck recently. So there's a whole saga behind the issue of my car. In January of 2025, so 15 or whatever months ago, I got hit by somebody else. It was determined to be their fault. So their insurance paid for all of the damage to my car. It was basically this very nice old man changed lanes and to right behind me and wasn't prepared for that lane to suddenly stop. So he ended up pushing me into the car in front of me. And I only know that because I have rear view cameras, because I did not even know that he had just turned lanes, but that makes sense, you know. So he had great insurance though. He had USAA. So thank you for your service, sir. I therefore took my car to a body shop to get it fixed. It took like a month and a half to get my car back. But everything was paid for. They paid, USAA paid for it. They also paid for me to have a rental car during that time. So, you know, it went better than it could have gone. Because if I had to use my insurance, I do not have rental car coverage because that costs more money. So, not the most ideal. But yeah, that happened in January 2025. Then, and basically, the back was the worst looking part. They had to basically redo my entire trunk floor, cut from the damage that the guy behind me did. But then he pushed me into the person in front of me, but the damage was not bad. Especially like it didn't seem like there was any damage on her car, so that's good. But it really just kind of looked, from my just viewpoint, it just looked like it was cosmetic. Like they had to fix, you know, my driver's side headlight, but didn't really seem to me like it was going to be a lot of internal damage to the motor or anything like that. But they did have to, the body shop did have to take out the radiator to do the fixes that they needed. So then in August 2024, I am driving to a work event that was in the evening, and all of a sudden my engine says it's overheating, which I've never dealt with before. I was literally parking at that time, so I just like parked and asked my partner Zach if I should be driving it. But we realized that I had a coolant leak somewhere. Like we would fill up the coolant reservoir, and it was just running through that. So it wasn't that bad while I was waiting for my car appointment, because all I had to do was just, before I start driving, check the coolant reservoir, add some water to it. That's not a long-term solution, so do not take that as you don't need to put actual coolant in your car. That is just in situations like this where you have a coolant leak somewhere, so you can use water as a temporary solution. So then we took it to Hyundai, and they were like, hey, if it's under warranty, it'll be free for you, including the diagnostic. If it is not under warranty, it's going to be like $220 for the diagnostic, and however much money for parts and labor we're going to cost on top of that. So it did. And when they were describing that to me, they very much were like, even if like a squirrel got into your motor and messed around, like that would still not be covered under warranty, because something externally was the reason. It wasn't on Hyundai or a Hyundai dealer. So, but they were like, actually, this issue does look like a manufacturing error. We need to just, they didn't torque this thing enough. I know the word that they used is torque, but what was the thing? I don't know, there's something to do with the coolant, but it was not the radiator. And so they had my car for a few weeks. It was annoying because I didn't have a rental car for that time. So Zach had to drive me to work because I'm not on the insurance for his car, and his car is kind of on the fancy side because he's a car guy, and I don't really want to. I don't like driving it. Like, I'm too broke for this. This doesn't feel right. But they did say it was under warranty. So they fixed it, and then I was on my merry way. And then October 2025 comes around. If I said 2024 earlier, just pretend I said 2025. I just filmed my month in review and I kept saying March and not April, like throughout the entire video, even after I corrected myself. So I might say wrong things, but you'll know what I mean. But so October 2025, I have an overheating engine again. And this time, just putting water into the reservoir doesn't seem to be helping. I literally have to pull over and let my car rest every few minutes because it keeps overheating. And it is very frustrating. Especially because I had just gotten this fixed. Like, what the heck? Hyundai. So we brought it back there. And they were like, oh yeah, they didn't do XYZ. This is going to be covered again. You do not have to pay any money, but we're going to keep your car again for a few weeks. Sorry if you can hear the dogs. Sorry, my dogs heard like a door or something outside. I don't know. But so yeah, October 2025, they're like, oh yeah, when you were last here, something with a gasket. I remember the word gasket wasn't done properly. Like, okay, cool. And then since then, have not had issues until Sunday. On this last Sunday, I was going to pick up groceries from HEB, the curbside, always. And I actually went to the wrong HEB location because I thought that Zach ordered it from one, but it was actually a different one on accident. So that was annoying, but either way, going to go to the next location for the groceries. But then my car starts saying that it is overheating. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This has happened again? Like, this is the third time this has happened. What is wrong with this? So it was Sunday. So the service center at Hyundai was not open. So, and their online scheduling system, there isn't like a one for like general diagnostics for whatever reason. So can't really schedule it online. You have to call. So I left them a voicemail. But then I parked my car on the street because our driveway is on a hill. So just to kind of see the oh, and I had to deal, like, coming back with groceries, I had to deal with the whole pull over and turn like pull over every few minutes, turn the car off because it's overheating every few minutes. It was incredibly annoying. So then when we got it here at home, I did stop even at a gas station to buy some water to put in the reservoir. But the reservoir didn't look like it was empty. Like, well, what's going on? Like, why? Like, usually this is what the issue is a coolant leak. And then I brought it home, and a few hours later I checked the reservoir again, and nothing was gone from the reservoir. But for sure coolant was leaking from my car because there was a big red puddle under my engine. So we knew that coolant was leaking, but for whatever reason this time the reservoir was being blocked somehow. So we were trying to find where the leak was coming from. And Zach asked before, like, do you think this is from that accident? And I'm always like, no, I think pretty sure the front was just like cosmetic headlight kind of deal. I don't think there was any damage to the engine. But then when we were looking for where that leak was, we're pretty sure it was coming from the radiator. And the side of the radiator that it's coming from is where I got hit. Then we're like, maybe it actually was from that. Like, they did take my radiator out and put it back in. So maybe it's the body shop's fault, or maybe I actually got damage to our radiator. But I'm pretty sure it's just damage to the radiator. And so we brought it to that body shop again to be like, hey, we were here like 15 months ago. Does it still fall under warranty by any chance? And technically it does, but the issue is proving that it was from that accident, because it has been so long. We're pretty sure that it was very much from that accident, and that the radiator just had some damage that wasn't noticed. But it is now up to the other person's insurance whether or not they're going to cover it, because they can make the decision, hey, it's 15 months later. You could have damaged this not during that accident. So, like, we're not going to pay for it. The people at the shop said that they'll deal with the insurance, and they will try their best to put in an argument for me. And I also supplied them with my 2 service things from August and October, just to have evidence like, hey, this didn't just start happening today. This has been an issue. So that is the hope. They said that they were going to call me the next day. So we brought it in on Tuesday, so on Wednesday. But I haven't heard back yet. But how we got to the body shop without me having to pull over every few minutes, we looked up how we can pour water directly into the radiator. And you can only do this when the car is cold. So, like, if you have driven or turned the car on anytime recently, do not open that. But it had been sitting, I haven't been driving yet. So we poured basically a gallon of water straight into my radiator because it was completely empty. So that's how we got it there, and I was so thankful I didn't have to pull over a million times like I had to do when I was coming home from groceries, or when I had to bring it to the shop in October. That really just sucks. Like, it took me an hour and a half to get home from groceries. It should not have done that. But so yeah, that's the saga. And if USAA decides that they're not going to pay for it, then I'm gonna have to pay for it, which would suck. Because I don't know how much a radiator costs, but it doesn't sound cheap. I've replaced an alternator in a prior car, and I think that would be more than a radiator, but that was really expensive. So, like, I really hope that they agree to cover it. It would be even bonus nice if they gave me a rental car again. I highly doubt that part. But if at minimum they can cover it, that would be great. And if they can't, I will take my car to a different shop and see what it's going to cost me. Zach thinks I should still ask Hyundai because the body shop is like licensed with, that's probably not the right terminology, but using it, licensed with Hyundai as a body shop that they partner with. So Zach's like, if this was kind of an error on that, maybe Hyundai would cover it. But I don't think they will. I'll ask. Comes down to it, I will ask. But when I was there the last 2 times, it was made very clear to me that if something external messed with whatever the reason this is happening, this is under your bill. We only will cover it if it was a manufacturing type error or something like that. So I don't think, and I do, so I do think it's from that accident. And I don't think Hyundai would cover that because it was from an external accident. So that's how the week started. Zach brought me to work on Monday and Wednesday, and I worked virtually Tuesday, Thursday. I left my car at the body shop because they said they were going to call me the next day. And I was like, well, then I'll just keep my car here because if they do say yes, then you already have it here. And I don't have to deal with trying to add water to the radiator regularly. But then I didn't get a call. So I called today, and I didn't get a call Thursday either. So I called them today and was like, hey, any update? And the guy's like, nope, no update. Your point people are this person, and they're both out today. So you could call back Monday. Like, okay, that was not helpful, but okay. Because even like they called would have been a nice update. Just to be like, hey, they did call. They'll get back to you on Monday, but it was you can call us on Monday. Like, could y'all just assure me that you're gonna be calling me? Because like I don't have a car right now. So we might pick my car up. Because it is technically with water drivable. But the goal was to just get it fixed. And if it is covered by USAA, I don't know how long the body shop is going to take because it was way more damage, obviously, but that was like a month and a half that they had my car last time. So I don't know how, this is not as big of a job, and it doesn't involve having to even repaint or anything like that. So it would take less time, but like they're really busy. So how much time will it actually take? So then, as the week is not over yet, On Wednesday, when Zach picked me up, we noticed a crack in his windshield. And he was like, I got hit by a rock from a construction vehicle when he was driving there. And he didn't see anything at the time. But we realized it was probably because it was right behind his registration. Like Texas, you have your registration instead of on the license plate, it's on the windshield in front of the driver's seat. We think it was right behind there, and that it just actively was expanding because we literally watched it actively span on our drive back. Like there was a little dot from like a bug or something on the windshield, so I was using that as a reference guide, and it was moving. The crack was getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. So now Zach has to get a new windshield. I need a new radiator. He needs a new windshield. It's fine. And then yesterday, Thursday, something messed up, got bumped on our ice maker in our freezer, and it decided that it's gonna make a lot of ice, and it didn't ever stop making it. So there was a ton of water under the fridge and in our kitchen from melted ice because there was so much ice that it was protruding out of the freezer. So we got all that cleaned up, and I think we fixed the ice maker, but we're not letting it make ice right now, or we're trying to not let it make ice. It's one of those that there isn't like an actual off button, which is annoying. It's like this lever, and when the lever is in a more horizontal position, aka the ice is lifting it up, it'll be like, okay, the tray is full. I will not make more ice. And when it's down, it'll be like, I want to make more ice. And apparently when it gets bumped, I want to make more ice. And so it actually did make some more ice, but it was in the horizontal position, and we're like, so I don't know. That was my week. How was yours? I hope you guys had, a more enjoyable weekend. But that's how my week went. Dogs are good though. Zoe had her 7th birthday. He's an old lady now, and I made that as a joke when I was like, it's Zoe's birthday, but I just got an email from the vet today, and they're like, you need to schedule Zoe's senior appointment now that your dog is a senior dog. I'm like, wait, what? 7 years old is the age that they become senior. So she is, an old lady. Apparently, at least at my vet, she's classified as a senior. So I'm gonna have to schedule that appointment. But I also don't have a car right now. I mean, Zach can take her to the vet. His windshield replacement's not gonna take, I think it's just a 1-day thing. So he's gonna do that tomorrow. Oh, a funny story about that. When we got her at the shelter, we fostered her for like 4 months before we adopted her. And we volunteer at the shelter. that she was at. So like we know how the shelter runs things, and most of the time when they have a stray, so a dog that was not like, she clearly had been owned before, but she was a stray, she was abandoned or whatever. And most of the time when it's a stray or a situation like that, they don't know the actual age, so they're just going to guess an age. And so we were under the impression that they guessed Zoe's age because none of her paperwork said anything about it being like an actual age or anything. So I was like, okay, they guessed that she's 5. She was 5 at the time. But we think she's like 2 or 3 because she has the energy of a toddler. But then last September, I was gonna just make her adoptiversary, her birthday, which was the end of September, and she had an appointment with the vet, and one of the things was, getting them a poop sample. And when I was putting it in the bag that it needed it to go in, all of a sudden they see the lab paperwork on the bag and it lists a birthday. She had a known birthday and nobody told me. So her birthday is April 28th, and she was indeed 5 years old at the time that we met her. And she is now 7. And now I know her birthday, but AKA I missed her birthday last year. And then I found out before the adoptiversary that she had an actual birthday. So then I didn't do it's her birthday on the end of September. It still was like, yay, you were adopted a year ago. But the finally know her actual birthday. Yeah. Actually, let me talk about stuff I watched first, and then the rest of it is going to be diamond painting related. So, I've mainly been watching like YouTube or whatever, but one of my favorite shows is called Has Been Hotel, and they announced the 5th and final season has been approved. And I'm so excited because then we get to see the whole story that the writer wanted to tell. So only 2 seasons have been released, but it's an animated show and animation takes a long time. So like they need to know years in advance if they have another season so that they can actually write the season. So they kind of needed to know because they were working on season 4. And they needed to know, like, hey, do we need to come up with a finale for the end of season 4? Or do we have the amount of time to tell the entire story that Viv, the writer, wants to tell? So it was very exciting that Amazon announced that season 5 was approved and it will be the final season of the show. And there were literally comments like, can we get season 3 first? It was like, yes, but they do, it's an animated show. They need to know way more in advance than a regular like show because it takes, if we only did 1 season at a time, we'd have to wait years and years and years and years and years. We already do wait years, but it can be a little bit less if they find out sooner that they have another season. So that's exciting. I can't say that I recommend it for everybody because it is very much a you love it or you hate it show. and there are a lot of people who do not like it. So I can't tell you that you will like it. So it takes place in hell. And in this version of hell, hell is getting a little too overpopulated because there's a lot of bad people in the world. So what heaven decided to do is they made an exorcist army that would once a year go down to hell and exterminate um, thousands of people. So it's like a double death basically. It's like you do not exist anymore after this. Um, and so the princess of hell, Lucifer's daughter, her name's Charlie. Her goal was to start a hotel about to rehabilitate sinners because she wanted to convince heaven that instead of execution, maybe if we can prove redemption works, we can solve the overpopulation issue that way. And so that's the premise. And then it is also very crass, lots of swearing, and lots of, it's hell. So literally one of the characters is a porn star. So it is more crass. So if you don't like crass, you are not going to like it. And then it also is a musical where there are 20-minute episodes and at least 2 songs in every episode except the finale of season 2. But the finale of season 2 song was 5 minutes long. So at least 2 songs every episode. And you also have to love musical theater. If both of those, and honestly, let's throw in as well, you need to love like the drag. I'm gonna just say like the drag scene, like drag queens, because it also needs to be that's just, you don't have to, like, I'm sure there is people who like Has-Been Hotel but aren't like big drag goers, but it very much is the vibe of, that's hard to explain. It's just like it's very cheesy, and it's very over the top. It's very crass. There are innuendos, so that's kind of why I say drag as well as musical theater. Because if you just like Wicked, but you're not a big fan of the sexual jokes that drag queens make, you're not gonna like it. So it's very, very specific parameters. And even then, I can't tell you that you're gonna like it. Because there are people that I thought would like it that did not like it. So I can't tell you what 100% makes someone love it or hate it, but I love it. And I do have friends I introduced it to that also love it. And then I have friends that are like, this is not for me. So I will say, like, with the sexual innuendos and stuff like that, it could be triggering. Um, so keep that in mind as well if you need to protect your peace. If those kinds of things are a trigger for you. So, but I am personally excited that we're gonna get to hear the whole story, because I've watched lots of interviews with like the writer Her name's Viv, and she said like the reason that it got Amazon approved the show was because of what is going to happen in seasons 3 and 4. So we haven't even gotten to the plot yet. That was the reason for why Amazon decided they wanted to approve it. So I'm excited to see that stuff. So no spoilers though, but if you do enjoy Has Been, please let me know. And then I thought Drag Race All Stars was going to be premiering tonight. It's Friday. Because they posted like a first however many minutes of the first episode. I think they did. I hadn't watched it yet. But then and apparently the premiere is next week. But they usually do that when on the Wednesday before the episode. So it's actually next week. That is the beginning of All Stars. So for the next however many weeks, you will hear me talk about Drag Race. And then it's Pride Month, so then you're going to still hear me talk about drag stuff. One of my many loves in life is drag artists of all varieties, not just the queens. We love our kings and we love our in-betweens. So that is like the non-diamond painting related stuff that I got for you today. But I have a lot of diamond painting stuff to talk about. So the first thing, I sigh because this was not my intention for what I was going to do this May. There is a creator. Her name is Nicole. Her channel is Shenanigans. And she has started some shenanigans. She, in the Crafters Done Discord, which is open invite to everybody. I'll put the link in the chat, by the way, if you want to join that Discord. It's about it has diamond painting, but it has other crafts channels for other crafts too, and all that. It's an open invite. I would not be a part of it if it was not an open invite. So, but Natalie from Diet Coke and Diamonds and Nicole were like just chatting about, I don't even know what started it. But eventually Nicole's like, wait, 26 for 2026. 26 for 26. And Natalie was like, that is the best idea I've ever heard in my life. And what they meant was having 26 WIPs at one time for the year 2026. It's not about finishing, it is about starting. So that became a thing. She immediately created a channel for it in the events section of the Discord. I was like, this is my new challenge. So it's not like a formal event or anything. It's not sponsors. It's not giveaways or prizes. It is very much just like, this is a challenge that if you want to participate, you can. So that's similar to Lizette Arts and Crafts in a way. Like, she has a challenge this year to refresh your stash. So working on paintings that were produced earlier, because quality gets better and better and better for diamond paintings. So eventually you get to the point where you don't enjoy the painting as much if the quality has improved. So that's just a challenge. And this 26 for 26 is also just a challenge. And it is, so it also then is very much you interpret the challenge the way you want to interpret it. Like there is not specific rules. What Natalie and Nicole are doing is getting up 26 WIPs at one time, but it's okay if you do less. It is okay if some of your WIPs are from other types of projects, like if you color, if you knit, if you do any of the crafty things, those all can be WIPs. Cross stitch. So you can count those. It also could be a goal to just start 26 diamond paintings in 2026. So having less WIPs, but through the year you started at least 26. So however you want to interpret it is fine. And I have not been a fan of having multiple WIPs. Because it's, so I tried it in March. So literally 2 months ago. I tried to do multiple WIPs because I was doing a couple events. And I was like, if I'm doing multiple WIPs, there is more time before I finish the kit, because otherwise I finish it really quickly, depending on what the canvas is. But for those events, it was quickly. So, but what ended up happening was I started, so I swapped one time. So I was doing the hot air balloons one, and I started that before March started. And then when March started, I swapped to do one mini dazzle for mini DP Madness, and I swapped to then do my dragon kit for which I was using for 2 events, Stoke Your Dragonfire and Mermaids and Magic. But then once I got on that kit, I didn't want to switch again. So what ended up happening is I got all of the rest of my mini dazzles done in a day, and then I finished the dragon in a week. It was it was a color blocky dragon. It wasn't anything intricate. It was Sheena Pike's pastel little dragons. So that's why it went so quickly. I finished that, and then I started working on the hot air balloons again. So like, it's just I didn't want to switch back, and I just was like, I'm working on this. I want to continue working on it. I want to finish it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not a multiple WIPs person. But then my car was having issues and I was feeling chaotic. So I bought another storage container. And I'll show you that at the end. Let me tell you my thoughts about it. And I have kitted up 4 WIPs. Why? I don't know. I just decided I'm doing this again. But what I'm going to do differently this time is I'm going to use the WIP wheel. So if you've seen from other diamond painting YouTube channels, you might have seen the WIP wheel before. The concept, like quite a few people have done it, like Diamonds at Tiffany's. The most recent one I saw was Library of Diamonds. Lena did it for a recent challenge. And essentially you put all of your WIPs in the wheel and you let the wheel decide. And how they did it was they would also have a wheel for how many sections of said painting they were going to work on. So it had like 1, 2, 3, and a whole row. So whatever they would spin, which canvas am I working on, and then how many sections am I doing of it before I spin again. The issue that I have is that I don't diamond paint in sections. Unless the canvas is huge and doesn't fit on my kitchen island. In that case, I will do just really huge sections. And so I was like, how do I decide when I spin again? Because I can't really have a wheel that says this many sections, because that would just be me doing the whole canvas. What I decided to do is per day. And if that feels like too much, I can extend it for like every 2 days or something. So yesterday I spun, and I worked on my Distracted by Diamonds kit. I can show you them. Oh, hang on. And today I spun again, and it landed on my boba drinks. So that's what I'm working on right now. So what are my WIPs? I decided to just do 4. And if I'm enjoying myself, maybe I'll add more. Or maybe I'll keep it at 4. Maybe I'll go down to 3. I don't know. But what my thoughts are right now is just starting at 4. And then if I am doing any like event kits in a specific month, I will make exceptions and priorities if the event requires a finish in order to like enter for grand prizes, then I'm gonna make sure that I finish in said month. So I'll probably weight the wheel to be a little heavier weight on the kits that I'm doing for that specific month. But I'm not doing any events in May. I am doing a kit for Asian American Pacific Islander month, but it's not for an event. So it's okay if that goes into June. So first one I have is my boba drinks from Diamond Design Company, or Diamond Design Co. I was say company. The other one, this is what I worked on yesterday, is Distracted by Diamonds. This is called They Burned Women by Brian Dean Rollison. I haven't done a Distracted by Diamonds. I bought this a bit ago, and my plan was to do it in spooky season because it's a witch, but I've been in the I want to try more shops bug recently, so that's the only Distracted by Diamonds that I own right now. So that is the one that I have decided to. So I decided to do it so that way I know, do I like Distracted by Diamond kits, and do I want to buy more in the future? The other 2 are Diamond Art Club ones. So this is the one I'm doing for AAPI Heritage Month, Release the Sky by Yume Art. And why I did this to myself, I can't tell you. So Distracted by Diamonds only does in centimeters. Diamond Art Club does in both inches and centimeters. So we're just going to go by the centimeters to give you an idea. The Distracted by Diamonds is 53 centimeters by 120 centimeters. 120 centimeters is very, 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 very tall. Release the Sky is 55.8 centimeters by 111.5 centimeters. And this one does have inches. So 111.5 centimeters is 44 inches tall. So therefore 120 centimeters is more than that. but the width of this one is a little bit longer than the Burned Women. But therefore I have basically 2 4-feet tall WIPs. And I don't know why I did that to myself, but I did. I mean, I'm doing this for AAPI. I'm doing that one because I wanted to do my Distracted by Diamonds canvas before I decided if I wanted to buy more of their canvases. The other one that I'm doing, this one is just the one I purchased the farthest back. So if I'm not doing kits for they're a new company to me, or they're for an event, or they're for a History Heritage Month, I am going to just do in the order of how I purchased, at least as of now. That may change, but so this I purchased is it's this turn. Basically, I bought this in like November 2025, so I can't really call it refresher stash because like their 2025 kits or their production was in 2025, so like they are not old. But that's just kind of how I so far have chosen to do is to just go in order of the way I bought them. So those are my 4 WIPs, and I'm going to be doing a WIP wheel, and I don't know if after 1 week or 2 weeks, but I'm going to be just like doing a little chaos vlog. Just be like, how am I doing? What did the WIP choose today? What did the WIP wheel choose today? And do I like doing this? To determine if I'm going to, keep this up or if I want to go back to 1 WIP at a time. So that's coming. And if you want to see the canvases, the whole canvases, before I post that video, on Tuesday I will have my month in review up, and that includes my plan for May. So I show all of these canvases, including the other boba drinks, in the month in review. So this gives a very satisfying crunch. I don't know if the microphone picks it up or not, but it is a very, very satisfying sound. I don't do ASMR at all. I don't like it. But if I were to film an ASMR video for other people, like I just listen to YouTube and film it or whatever, this would be a great contender for it because it makes some very satisfying sounds. So and the kitting up of it too, people like those sounds too. So maybe one day. It has to be when Zach's not home, because otherwise it wouldn't be quiet enough. So he has work meetings, he yells at video games, like quiet is not an option. So that is the chaos that I'm doing, and it's all Nicole's fault. And it is a chaos many people are doing. Really funny, because I've been watching the Queen of Diamonds, Jenna, on YouTube. She's doing a WIP detox right now because she started 2026 with like a 26-ish canvases. And so she is doing basically the opposite of, she technically did do 26 for 26. And now she's just, working her way through them. She's not going to kit up another canvas until she finishes all of her WIPs. I think she's at like 18 now or something like that. So that is just very funny to just see them side by side. Like, get up everything, and the very calm, sweet Jenna working her way through her so let's see. Oh, guess what? I won a prize in the legendary Luca event, which was exciting. This is my third prize that I've won in an event. It was one of the weekly prizes. I wouldn't have qualified for grand prizes for that event because I just had cat hooks at the time for Luca canvases, and so it wasn't a big enough canvas to qualify for grand prize, but it did qualify for weekly prizes. So exciting. It was a tray from Bijou Bliss. And it was a couple weeks ago when I won it, and Anxiety Art Adventures, she is one of the people that host it. She said, if you are a winner, email me. So I emailed her when I heard my channel name. And then on the live the next week, I had like commented about something. I don't even remember what I commented. And she tried to call me out to be like, you didn't email me live on the live. I'm like, no, I did email you. And she was like, I'm like, I can email you again if you need. And she's like, well, don't email me again if I replied to you and I just didn't write it down or whatever. I'm like, well, you didn't reply to me. And so she's like, oh, okay, email me again. So I emailed her again. And then she was like, okay, I found your original email. So I think it went to her spam folder or something. So then right away after that, Christina from Bijou Bliss reached out to ask me what I wanted for it. So it wasn't like it wasn't like you just get sent any kit. You get to choose the colors of it, which is really cool. If you wanted anything extra above that, I think it would have been like an extra cost or whatever. But so I chose one of the multicolor trays. And so there's a color for the outside and a different color for the inside. And I've heard good things about this tray, so I'm excited to try it, and I will let you know what my thoughts are. One nice thing about them is that they're magnetic, so if you have multiple of them, they can like stick together. I don't know if I'll have multiple of them though, because as much as I want to support lots of small shops, I also want to support my wallet. And the reality is, once I have a favorite something, that is what I use. So this is my favorite pen. Right now, these are my favorite trays. That might change to her tray. This is my favorite trash bin. I have a favorite cover binder that I'm not using on this because it's so little. So, and those are just what I use at all times. So even though I have like a couple other like tiny cover binders, I'm like, nope, I'm going to use the one that I like the best. So that is the realistic nature of me. So plan is to not buy a bunch of accessories, especially pens, because wow, that's expensive. I got this from Butterfly Effects Wear, and I'm getting a custom from Donna Bass. And that's going to be it for pens. At least for now. Opinions can always change. But I would rather spend my money on more diamond paintings than on more accessories when I already have accessories, you know? But I do think there's a good chance I will like the Bijou tray better than the Diamond Art Club trays. So, but I use the Diamond Art Club trays for now, and I have the pastel set. My partner, Zach, he got them for me for my birthday. So I use, of course, the colored ones instead of the white ones. Alrighty. So, let's talk about Jeff. They did voting last week. Yeah, they did voting on Sunday. And so I wanted to just show you my votes. Okay, switching microphones to my phone microphone because my phone was only at 4% battery. So maybe just in general should just use my phone microphone for WIP and chats. Since they are so long and it's my phone's running that whole time, so it drains the battery a little faster. But yeah, what I'm trying to sort right now is that tight grid. So I'm trying to fit them in because it's not like at the end where I can just let it hang. So try and figure that out. Oops, I popped one out. Yeah, so here are my votes. Everything rainbow, pretty much. They never tell you the artists in voting, which I really wish they did, because you have to like figure it out if you don't know. Some of them, like, you can tell by the style who it is. So there are 2 Miss Butterdies in here, and I'll put all of them in the video, and I'll say which ones I'm talking about. I'll put them in the video. But there's 2 Miss Butterdies. There's a Margaret Morales. I don't like all of Margaret Morales. I mean, I love her artwork. I don't really necessarily want all of her artwork to diamond paint though, because it's kind of just all over the place with the watercolor. But I love the artwork itself. But this one I think I would actually get. So I did vote for it. I voted just for one Lubka. They always have a million. A couple Geneva Bowers, because I do love Geneva. There's also this beautiful curvaceous woman in a flower field. I don't know who the artist is for that one though. The woman in the like African-esque dress, she, I'm pretty sure, is the same artist as African Glamour, which I believe is Marjorie Sarnett. If it's someone else, I'll put that on the screen to fix that. But African Glamour was one of my favorite diamond paintings I ever did. So I want everything, and she's done a few things in that drawing style, so I would like all of them, please. But the most exciting news, y'all. Alora Pautra was in the voting. So Alora Pautra she currently is licensed with some diamond painting companies. I should say company, a diamond artisan shop. That is one of my most excited for orders that I have eventually coming at some point, because I just love her artwork so much. The color palettes, and they're just so beautiful. And there were 2 of her paintings in voting. I will say, when we're comparing to some of her other work that's at Diamond Artisan Shop, these ones don't excite me as much as those ones. but I had to vote for both of them because I need her to be licensed with every company so that I can get her everywhere. So, I just got really excited when I saw that there was an Allura pouch rat, and then there was a second one, and I got even more excited. So, but yeah, those are the ones that I voted for this month. I really like the Miss Butterdy one with the rainbow sky. Like, I don't always like Miss Butterdy's or always want to diamond paint Miss Butterdy's work, but I definitely want to diamond paint that one. So I will be waiting for that one. And we'll be getting it on release day if I'm able to. So, but yeah, I voted for 10. Yeah, I voted for 10. Okay, so let's also then talk about new releases from a couple shops. We'll start with Diamond Art Club. All right, so the first one is Nico Cafe by Jeremiah Kettner. Not sure if it's pronounced Nico or Neko. It's 22 inches by 25 inches, which is a fun size. 55.6 centimeters by 63.8 centimeters. It's round with 56 colors, including 2 AB and 3 fairy dust. I like this one. I think I'm gonna try to be good tomorrow and not buy. You guys should be so proud of me. I actually didn't buy last week. So I don't actually even have any canvases to show you for Happy Mail for once because I'm proud of myself. But this is really cute. It is one that would more so, I think, be like I would attach it onto something, you know. I don't think I would just purchase for this. I would want to purchase a couple of things if I was getting it. And there are some tempting ones this week. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet, but as of right now, I think I want to try to just wish list. Because Jeremiah Kettner will sell out. And quite a lot of these paintings are going to sell out this week. Alright, next one is Winter Guardian by Sheena Pike. 29 inches by 22 inches. Or 73.7 by 55.6 centimeters. Round with 47 colors, including 2 AB and 2 fairy dust. I did not know that Sheena Pike did these kind of animals as well. Like, the one that I've done from her is like a very cartoony looking dragon. So I didn't even realize she did like realistic ones as well. I do actually kind of like this. I don't normally go for real looking fur. Normally I'm like, I do not desire to diamond paint that, but this image, there's something about it that I actually kind of like and would consider getting at some point. But I shouldn't get it tomorrow. Last week though, I extra say you should be proud of me because the ones that I wanted didn't sell out right away. I didn't even look until like a couple hours after release and they were still in stock. I'm like, what the? I need the temptation to be removed. And thankfully they eventually did restock later in the day. But I was just like tempted for so long. Next one is Mother's Affection by Deborah Malcolm. Available in 20 inch by 26 inch or 50.6 centimeters by 66 centimeters. Round with 50 colors, including 5 fairy dust. This Deborah Malcolm has a lot of paintings that look very similar to this, but with like different color palettes. So the Discord was joking about the elephants are still walking. I think they're lost. But I do like these images. I probably will be okay to, I'll be safe from having to purchase it, but I do like it. Like if this was in a mystery box, I would not destash it. Like I would keep it if it was in a box for me, but I don't know if I'd outright purchase, you know? This is so tight. This one has a few more rows that are more tight than the other one, so that's my only critique of these. It's kind of got squish them together. It's a very animal week. Every single painting has an animal in it. Next one is Seashell Kitten by Kayomi Harai. 17-inch by 22-inch, round with 44 colors, including 1 AB and 3 fairy dust. This one is not my particular cup of tea, but it's definitely going to make quite a few people happy. This is the, I don't gravitate towards realistic looking fur one. This just doesn't look natural for me, you know, like it's very realistic fur with a very painted looking background. But definitely will still be popular. Next one is Turtle Flight by Steve Sundrum. This is 37.8 by 27.6 and or 95.8 by 69.9 centimeters. Square with 92 colors, including 2 AB and 7 fairy dust. That's nice. This is another one of those, if it was in my mystery box, I'd keep it, but I wouldn't seek it out probably. I do like it, but I'm trying to be more picky, you know? Okay. This might sell out though, just FYI, if you have your eyes on it, because I'm pretty sure the last turtle that was similar to this sold out pretty quickly. Next is Kitsune by Scott Howden, available in 22-inch by 28-inch or 55.8 by 70.7 centimeters, square with 87 colors, including 2 AB and 5 fairy dust. Definitely cute. Not one that I gravitate towards for me, but I totally understand if someone else likes it. And then Cozy Kotatsu, I apologize if I said that wrong, by Art by Julia. This is 25.6 inches by 32.7 inches or 65 centimeters by 82.9 centimeters, square with 50 colors, including 2 ABs and 2 fairy dust. We went a really long time without Art by Julia releases, and now they're just like a bunch back to back. So that's interesting. I'm curious if there will be another one next week or if we're gonna take a little break from Julia. I do like this. This is the one another one I debate getting, but I do have an Art by Julia that I haven't tried yet. So I don't necessarily need this, especially when I know that people are going to be begging for this one. But I will decide probably tonight or tomorrow morning. Last one. Oh, and the Art by Julia is going to go in seconds. And this last one's going to go in seconds. Duchess Capella by Margaret Morales, 25.6 inch by 31.9 inch, square with 85 colors, including 2 AB, 1 electro, and 4 fairy dust. I wonder if the electro is in that little, in the stars, I would think, actually. But I was gonna say in that little like cat skull mask on her hat. This is a Margaret Morales that I would do for sure. I do think I want to get a Margaret Morales at some point because I like just getting one of all the popular artists so I can see what the hoopla is about, you know, and she's like one of the most popular artists. Some of the other ones I didn't get because it was kind of hard to tell where the dress ended and where the background began, but this one doesn't have that, so I do like it. I just haven't. I'm just gonna try to not buy tomorrow because I bought from some small shops today. It's May 1st, so I'm like, budgets redoing. So I bought some other new releases today from some other shops that I will share with you. But those are the Diamond Art Clubs. A lot of these are gonna go fast. I'm not positive about the Girl with the Fox because I don't know how fast Scott Howden's art has gone in the past. I think that definitely will sell out, but I don't know if it'll be right away. I think the turtle and the cat are gonna sell out. Honestly, all of these have the potential to sell out. Maybe not in the first couple minutes, but definitely could all be sold out within the first week. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. There are a couple more companies though I want to talk about. So I finally placed an order with Ever After. So disclaimer again, I have not tried these other shops I'm telling you about, including Jada Gem Shop. Like, I have ordered from it, but I haven't gotten them yet. So a lot of small shops do made to order, so it's not a guarantee. You know, it could be a varying amount of time for how long this takes. Like, these took like 3 to 4 weeks to come. Distracted by Diamonds actually came right away, and so did Pretty Little Gems. But I have orders that I'm waiting on from Jada Gem Shop and Diamond Artisan Gallery because of Laura Pautrat. And did I have another one? Might have just been those two until today. So I ordered from Ever After today. They had 4 new releases today, and so I added some that I had my eye on because they do have a sale right now. I think they often have sales, but it's either 15% off of your order, which you do have to put the code in for it, or it's buy 3 get 1 free. So I did the buy 3 get 1 free, and it was tough decisions because originally I had wanted one that was a lot cheaper than the other ones, but that is not saving me the most money. If I am getting a free painting, I would like it to I would like it to be at a higher price point. So I'm saving the smaller one for if I decide I for sure like this company. So if you do use that, you don't have to. Like, it's still a discount. But when it comes to buy something, get something off, you're always gonna have the best deal if you're picking things that are at similar price points. So, you know, instead of $30 off, like it would have been for me, I technically had $48 off because I wanted to try to find something more than the 48, but I wanted that one and couldn't decide on a different one to replace it with, so that was what I did. You also, forever after, in a lot of them, you can choose if you want round or square, which is a nice perk. That means it's made to order usually though, so this might take a while for me to get. But their first release that came out today, May 1st, was Dream Guardian by Celestial Soul Art. And I believe that Ever After is one of the companies that do not license with any artists that use AI. That is what I had been reading. If that's wrong, please tell me. Because I want to give you accurate information. But just tell me. That one's $55 for US dollars. Next one is Sheer Joy by Chromatic Soul, like a little sheep. Glow by Rebecca Sims. It's a little dark, so I didn't get that one, but I think it's a beautiful little art piece. And then the last one is the one that I got today, Blossoming Storyland by Annie Reyes. If I apologize if that's not how you say her last name. I'll look it up. I'll try to remember. But that one looks really fun. So I did the buy 3 get 1 for free deal. So and I made sure to have a round in there. So I decided which one I wanted to be round. So that way if I try it and I'm like, I actually like their rounds better than their squares, then I know that. So for future. But 3 of them I did in squares. Including this one. But this one is $68 US. All of them can come in round and square. There is the occasional one that they don't give you the choice. The other, oh, there's a couple actually. So Distracted by Diamonds had a new release, and Jenna from Queen of Diamonds sneak peeked it, and I really like it. Oh, this must be why. Patty Wax is taking a short break. Thank you so much for visiting the shop. Today we are participating in the May Day National Economic Strike protest. We will return on the 2nd. So that is why. But they had a new one that you can go to Queen of Diamonds channel to see it. It's there was one that was like a frog, but I had already seen that one there for a little bit. But there's a new one with like this rainbowy girl from Brian Dean Rollison. They should exist tomorrow. So when this gets posted, they should exist again. Preston Place also had a couple releases today. I'm just going to show you like an overall view because there's quite a few of them, and I don't know if people want to listen to me like say the stats for every single picture. But they had 8 new releases. The one that I got was the Greenhouse Library hand rendered. That one had already existed, but it was a hybrid charted. So a hybrid charted would mean it'll be computer rendered first, and then and we'll have some hand touch-ups. Whereas hand rendered would be it was fully a rendering artist that did the render for the canvas. I got that one. But they had a few more released today, and they will have been on the screen. So feel free to check them out. One new thing they also announced was they're gonna start doing monthly subscription boxes. So they'll be like mystery boxes, and they will give you the theme of the month. So this month's like, or for June, because they just announced this, so the June box is available. This is Cottagecore Dreams. And if you go to the website, I won't put it here in case you don't want to see it, but it has the size of the canvases, a little hint, and what the color palette is. So they do give you a lot of hint, nudge, nudges for if you do want to get it. Cottage doesn't sound like one that I want, but I think I eventually will get a subscription box if it seems like a theme that I will enjoy. Yeah, so that is all of the releases I wanted to share. There's probably more, but it's just kind of like the ones that I saw this week. It's hard to keep up with all of them, especially when I'm just getting into these smaller shops. A lot of them are a lot newer to me. So for Happy Mail, I didn't do any canvases last release. I was so proud of myself. But I did get that storage. So I was telling you I was doing the WIP thing. So I got another storage. I wanted to look at the Elizabeth Ward ones, but everybody's doing this challenge, like bought them all. So I got the Diamond Art Club one. And I don't know my full thoughts on it. I don't like, so one thing I wish, and I don't even know if this is the case in any of the others that are like this, I wish that the small one, the medium was 2 of the smalls, and the large was 3 or 4 of the smalls, like the exact same dimensions, so that it's easier to, when you puzzle it together in the order that you want to place them, they're all the same height. Is that a very, very, very specific want? Yes. So like, it's not a big deal. But like for this one, it was, I had to put 3 of my ones I'm not even using to fit there based on what I already had in there, because I wanted it in this order, but I was struggling to Tetris it in that order. So that's something that I would find nice. That is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed chatting with me, I'd love if you stuck around. Please like, subscribe, comment. Engaging with videos does help that video get recommended to other diamond painters. So it is helpful when you do interact with something. But please tell me what you were working on. How was your week? I hope it was not as unlucky as mine. Just, yeah, let me know whatever you want to tell me, as I enjoy talking to you in the comments. So, have a good week. I will see you on Tuesday with my April month in review. Bye!